James takes his seat.
All right, we'll call to order the regular board meeting for November the 18th, 2025. Let's observe a brief period of silence, and we'll follow that by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Board, may I have a motion to adopt the November 18th, 2025 regular board meeting agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This agenda will be adopted. Board, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of the November 4th, 2025 regular board meeting?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Those minutes will be approved. Item number 5, no one has signed up on public comments, which brings us to item 6, informational reports. Item 6A, we will now receive, discuss the TCS AI plan. Dr. Pope.
Good evening, board. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Pope.
I'm gonna ask Dr. Young to join me as well. She is the lead of our AI, artificial intelligence initiative here in Tuscaloosa City Schools. So we just want to briefly go over some information with you where we are thus far. So thinking about 50 years ago to the day where we are, thinking about how things change, thinking they're just the black and white pictures for one. Keep thinking about how computers were large. Then we got small computers, laptops, looking at the music, way things were being taught. 30 years, then we end up having iPads, and the whole big picture here is technology is moving. We don't want to be left behind, so we want to continue embracing where we currently are. So why AI and why now? So in Tuscaloosa City Schools, we're thinking about AI is reshaping where we live, how we work, how we operate, and our whole position statement was talking about we can't run away from it, we can't be shy of it. We got to prepare our students for real world, and we want our kids to be able to grow and learn and how best to do it through an AI world. So our goal here, the 3 things here, for one, empower our teachers, and how that looks is to, for how things to make sure they lean on AI as support, not necessarily as for substitute teaching, but as support, and they learn through personalized their learning for each one of their students. Also, ways to engage students. AI could be an opportunity for our students to be prepared for future-ready careers. They learn more. They end up sparking their creativity through the AI tools. And with support with the families in this integration, our goal is to ensure that we are building trust with our parents and our families through transparency, letting them know exactly where we are, where our communication is clear about AI in schools, what we're operating, and how we're actually working with AI with our students in the schools. This part is just basically, if you do, scan our QR code, it'll take you to a landing space. In TCS currently, we have created a chatbot through Google Gemini, and like Dr. Young and Chris says, making sure we use Gemini because it already has parameters. It's a safe place our kids can work in, our teachers can work in. And the first one said Code 504. Well, that's a chatbot that is created for our 504 process. With one of our things that with our kids is a process for students that may have a medical condition. They have a 504 plan. Well, we have a whole 504 plan. This group has actually fed the information from our 504 plan, whereas a teacher can actually go in and ask questions like, when do I supposed to schedule a meeting? How many meetings should I do? Where should I work on? What does it look like for a 504 plan for this particular student when this case is going on? So this is one of our current TCS chatbots that's with 504. The second one, which I'm crazy about, with the middle schools, and Dr. Young, we talked about it the other day, the middle school kids, they're taking notes. And they're taking notes on lessons, like say history lessons. They're taking notes on what they're learning. Well, they can feed their notes into the chatbot, and they can end up creating projects. They can end up creating PowerPoints. They may end up using, like, asking themselves questions, asking the chatbot questions about that particular lesson or topic. So it's used as a study guide, a more creative study guide. And the third one is the resume support, and that's used here with the kids in TCTA, where they can actually enhance their resume, building a more advanced resume based on the skills and the trade that they're working on here in this building, and also our education component as well. So those are charting the way. When we say charting the way, this is the direction we're going on, creating our chat box that will be opportunities that our people, our learners, but also our staff that's also learning as well can use AI. So when we look at this, progress is already underway. The board, you already in May of 2024, you approved the position statement, and that's basically saying we're embracing it. We have a safe space. We have opportunities that our people feel like they're comfortable being able to use it, not misuse it, but use it. Staff development, we're launching opportunities for AI literacy courses, because a lot of people need to know more about what AI is and what it looks like, how it could be user friendly, and making sure when we say AI, is it something that is foreign to them? If it is, let's break it down in chunks so they understand more. And then the community input. Like transparency, Dr. Dare always say, we want to make sure everything that we put in place, that we are transparent in those opportunities that we're putting in our schools and in front of our kids, that our families. In this part, we collected input from 250 families about our next steps with AI. And then planning and partnerships. This is underway with our counselors, and where we're going with Vector. And we're going to talk more about Vector and for our classified employees as well. So when we talk to our educators, the educators were, this is the top concerns they had, which, like most educators, thinking like, oh, AI is going, the kids can end up cheating. So what student misuse, academic integrity, those challenges. The other part is going to potentially they end up losing their own critical thinking skills because they rely so heavily on AI, and then the insufficient training and preparation time that they may have on the use of it. But what they want is to have practical classroom-ready tools and resources, time-saving strategies that reduce workload, and hands-on professional development with ongoing support. When we look at the family perspectives and the opportunities and concerns they had, and I'm just going to look at this part, opportunities the families see, future-ready skills. The whole part is we want to make sure they're ready, career-oriented, they're thinking ahead. We're not waiting for the future to come. We're going to be amazing, ahead of the game, and getting our kids already career-ready and more engaging learning experiences. The concerns they had were too much reliance on tech, privacy, and data security. I know most people, if you had heard in New York, they started the Friend. We had this talk the other day about the Friend gadget that's AI Friend, and it actually is around their neck, and they're actually listening to that person all day long. And that's probably for a person that is like it's actually called Friend. So the AI is collecting data from what that person is going through all day, who they're talking to, what they're doing. And it ends up understanding their habits. It ends up understanding what they do, how they even speak. So with that part, we looking at what families also need: clear guidance on classroom AI, regular implementation. So making sure we keep them involved, but also let them have workshops. We have parent nights with literacy and math. Why not also have AI nights so parents can have the opportunity to see exactly what we're talking about? So those workshops will give them resources and support for what they do at home. This is our PD plan. The fall of 2025, we have AI literacy courses. It's launched in Schoology, so we had those for on-demand learning. Dr. Young is leading all this work. We've trained teacher leaders who deliver hands-on PD with their teams. So we have those leaders turn around that training, and then currently in progress, counselor PD is in progress, and then the vector platform that we use when we things that we have those requirement trainings that we have in vector is also there, and we're exploring opportunities for classified training. And we mentioned the training asynchronous opportunities for beginner, intermediate, advanced for our staff members. And I think the way she set it up is asynchronous, where they can just jump on at their own, like class, a learning on demand class that they can work on. They can choose and based on their own understanding and their own level. And when we talk about our biggest thing is engaging students and our families, the student learning opportunity. We're here, we have Zello and Common Sense Media, but with our students, they're learning those digital skills through those platforms with family engagement part, those opportunities to input sessions that create a two-way dialogue for parents, and they have like questions and concerns. They may ask questions, then we can actually, that part can be more engaging. That is a person not is on hand right now, but they can be there to support those families when they have those questions. Coming soon, this is something that Dr. Young is spearheading for January 2026. Is basically an hour of AI for our families, and it will be at the Tuscaloosa Public Library on January 29th from 6 to 7. And this is just a way to pull our parents in, get them more involved. That workshop we were mentioning with each individual school, this is a way we can have our parents come in as a whole, our community, and share those things and give them more awareness of where we are with AI. Well, for anything that we are starting, there are also things we have to navigate, and those challenges may be things like, of course, money, budget constraints, building confidence, because on the adult side and the kid side, we got to make sure as we embrace something new, a lot of times everyone don't want to start something new. They get a little afraid, so building the confidence in where they are. And the training piece, we want to make sure that in everything we're doing, it's called retooling, and those new things and things we've been doing in the past, how we can sustain the training. And student misuse, and I know just from my colleagues in K-12 and also in higher ed, that whole conversation is like how the kids not misusing or how adults aren't misusing that. So we got to embrace that piece and talk about what the challenge is, so we know you're not, and we use the word cheating, or you're not doing things that you copying or plagiarizing based off of what you're putting in AI and then putting in your paper. So those are some challenges we have to work through. And then clear communication. How can we be more clear on where we are, what we're expecting, what it looks like, and what the support is needed from our families, from our students, and from our teachers. So moving forward, I'm gonna move to the immediate steps right now. Finalize the platform selection for the classified training is prepare for upcoming AI family event, and our support we need. Continued leadership meetings, modeling from all levels, making sure we have a commitment from all of our leaders, including our board members, but everybody in TCS, that everyone is on board. And there's the ongoing investment, not just financial, but that investment of what support looks like so the work can move forward. Anything on that? She did share with me something else, but she wants to say she wants to talk. So that's why I have her here with me. But she did share, she was at a school today, just how much the teachers from the training opportunities that they're having, they're already embracing it. And she was at Westlawn, I want to say it was Westlawn, and they were talking about what one of the teachers was sharing. You want to tell the story?
Okay, I will tell that story. It makes me giddy. So at Westlawn, we demoed how to code with AI, and this teacher had found a way to code using this tool called Padlet TA, and she has made a sorting activity where the students can balance chemical bonds in the 8th grade, and they're sorting it, and she was like, they get it. And so that was just a glow for me, because we figured out a way to engage students but keep the rigor in the learning. At Eastwood today, they turned around their AI training, and one of the things that came up, we were coding, so this thing called vibe coding, how it works, you tell it what you want it to do, and it codes it in HTML and produces a website. So social studies teacher said, hey, code this game for me for ancient civilizations. But I want you to make it an assimilation where the kids have to pick and choose how to make this civilization work. And they have to have so many points to make the civilization work. And so they have to think critically about what resources do I need in this civilization? What language? How can I communicate with people? What food resources that we have? And so I said, once you finish it, let me see it so I can showcase it to you guys so you can see some of the incredible ways that we already are paving the way and kind of transforming how students learn and think and engage with these tools.
That's our update presentation and briefing on AI. Do you have any questions? Yes, sir.
I think this is sound great. Have we had any feedback from parents on how they are getting the mood in it? I know you said we're going to have parent workshops and stuff, but when we see technology like this, the biggest fear of the parents, oh, that's not going to help my child. So I think it's important what you're saying, those workshops for the parents, so the parents understand they're not just playing, they're building jobs for the future, and that's what's so important about this.
Yes, so from that survey, from the parent survey, some of the things that came from it was people are it's scary good. And from that, we know that people want their students safe. They don't want their privacy infringed upon. But a lot of the feedback suggests that parents just don't know how these tools work and how they will work in schools. That's the purpose of the Family AI event, so we can tell the parents what our stance on AI is, how we are protecting our users, but they get to play around with some of the tools to see how they will work, so that we can kind of mitigate that fear and kind of clear up some of that understanding of misunderstanding.
Just make sure we get an invitation that we can get there, get a better understanding too.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your presentation.
I have two, maybe three questions. The first question being, with AI technology, this vast rabbit hole that we're gonna go down and probably never come out of, which is a good thing. Where do we see the roles, for instance, when people say that we may even use AI technologies to lecture a classroom, and in a sense, teach the classroom? Have we looked at that yet, or is that something that we haven't even kind of got to that point yet, but that may be a possibility given the scope of education today when trying to get qualified teachers and individuals in the classrooms? Some are looking to replace teachers with technology, and I'm just wondering if that's a concern or thought or something that we can touch on a little later on. The second question is professional development. We've seen in the future, we've seen in the past where sometimes our teachers who've taught for years have not embraced technologies, whether it's the use of cell phones in the classroom to help teach your class, use of the various type of boards to help teach the classroom, the lecturing pens, etc. Some of the smaller technologies there, we in some areas of some classroom, we kind of missed the mark on getting those teachers developed to where they need to be. And a lot of it was based on resistance. So how do we handle getting everyone on board with this? Obviously there's gonna be some rebuttal, there's gonna be some resistance, but how do we get them into the sheepfold? And then the final thing is, and I'll let you all speak, is at work, I use AI technology just for it's translation earpiece. My Hispanics, my non-English speaking employees communicate to me in real time with earbud. With our non-speaking English students who are in our classrooms, have we considered using AI technologies to help them during the lecture so they can understand real time what the teacher's presenting before them without having that effect on them where it's not going to push them further behind, but help them to stay on top of the game, so to speak. So,
I'm gonna answer the first one, and Dr. Young's gonna chime in as well. So the first one was about the AI replacing the humans. So we want to make sure that highly skilled teacher in front of them is the most important thing. We want to make sure we have in front of our kids. So I don't see us in that direction, but is where it can support, but not necessarily be the main driver. And like I said, we'll talk more on it in our planning. We're looking at things like we had actually was actually presented to us, and we had to pull back because of data. So most of those AI devices, or they have other parties that we got to be very careful on, that they're collecting data. So if they're in our classrooms and they're scoping or they're listening, what the third parties are. So to make that decision, we have to ensure that data governance is there, but a person in front of them is the most important. So we would still want that to be the driving force of teaching and learning into specific schools. So that's the first thing. And of course, in our plan, we'll put those things in place and collaborate with everyone of what those actions look like. Want to add on to anything?
I do. So the first question about AI replacing teachers, I don't think we are there yet. I don't know if you remember COVID, people were begging teachers to come back to school because you can't replace a human being. Not yet, but I do feel like quality teaching is still needed. And we see that these tools, they hallucinate, they're not always accurate, and you still have to be the expert to make the judgment call. But even if it generates great outputs, you still have to be the expert to say this is good or not. Even with the translation with your employee, if they speak a form of Spanish that is a pidgin language that is not from Spain, or some type of language that's not even coded in Spanish, you still have to be an expert. And so for that question about ESL, we work very closely with our SPED department and ESL departments, because we don't want AI to cripple the work that they've been leading. And so for ESL, we don't want to overly translate things where they may not have that support for when they test. And so we want to provide scaffolded support where it applies. So we do have a lot of tools that they have access to, but we just use them in moderation based on the guidance from our ESL specialists. And then your third question was
PD for those who don't want
all
to.
the reluctant people. So when we got feedback from the teachers, we were very strategic about how to find tools that translate to their day-to-day. We were not putting in front of teachers tools that you're not gonna use. We need, how can this tool help you save time? How can this make you be a better practitioner? How can this tool make you think critically about how you deliver instruction? So I think we've got some buy-in. Of course, there's gonna be some outliers where they just don't want it. But one of the first things that we say, it doesn't matter if you don't want it. When you wake up, you probably take your phone and the biometric data scans your face. Your Google cameras or your Ring cameras is already embedded in a lot of things that we already touch, even if we didn't even ask for it. So our charge is to show teachers how to learn with the tool, and so that they can grow with it and not be outdated and not be outdated. And we deliver that very softly, but we start with showing teachers how the tools can help them with their day-to-day. And if it's more applicable to their day-to-day, they're more inclined to use it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Dr. Young and Dr. Pope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6B, we'll now hear from our CSFO, Mr. Jay Duke, where we will receive financial reports. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, superintendent, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we have the financial statements through year end, September 30th, so the end of FY25. By far the most important financial statement of the year that we bring before you is our year-end summary, and this is it. Financial dashboard. This compresses down a ton of information, but I think sums it up. It's about as simple as you can get, at least in my eyes. Of course, our 100% of our budget would be through September 30th. And I simply put that target line there, that dotted line. And in summary, our revenues were up over what we thought they were going to be by 3%. Our expenditures were below what we thought by 3%. Both of those are good. We'll get into some detail and look at, Chris will go on to the tax reports. Our property tax was up from what we had budgeted. That's a good thing, and we're hearing that it may be the same for FY26, as property tax collections just started back in October. And so you'll see the year-end number there. Compare that to the previous year, it's up, and compare it to the budget, it was up. So property tax to the good. Car tag tax up slightly. The numbers aren't as big here, a lot lesser scale, but again, up from the previous year slightly and up a little bit above what we had budgeted. I will move on now to sales tax. Sales tax was up ever so slightly, real close to what we had budgeted. Again, it's flattened off now for about 2 years. You'll see those numbers there on sales tax. I can't help but mention that SSUT tax, we're not getting any of that, and that's keeping those lines flat on sales tax. To our general fund management report. Of course, our target here, I'll go to expenditures first. Our target here, so there in the middle of the page, was 100% obviously, and then you'll see 97.29 is where we ended up. What helped us out a lot, there were several things. Number one, we started capturing those 50 or so reductions in force. We started capturing those by attrition back in about January and February when people started retiring or otherwise leaving our system. We tried not to replace those back. So that served us well, and you see that in the numbers there. Capital projects, we had no big capital projects, and so that kept our capital outlay number down. That's where you see the star there. So that served us well. We've got some things going on this year with the roof project at Woodland Forest Elementary and a track replacement at Central High School, but that'll be in FY26. So a couple of the projects that we did have in FY25 came in significantly under budget. The fire alarm at Northridge High School, budgeted around 1.1 million, came in at $660,000. Another thing that helped us was moving away from Brewer Porch and putting that facility at Stars. That's several $100,000 there. So that was a huge net benefit to the system. I will keep going. We certainly can pause or come back to any of these numbers. This is our comprehensive financial statement, all sources of funds. General fund on the left that we just looked at in detail, but also you'll see here our special revenue column, which is most of our federal funds. Our debt service fund, we pay right around $8.6 million in debt this year. Our capital projects funds, what's significant about that capital projects column there, the fourth one from the left, is that those numbers aren't big for a system our size. We've got 21 schools, 23 or 24 sites, 11,000 students. We probably have $700 million in land and buildings, and our capital projects was only $3,267,000. So that serves us well. Mr. Chairman, I'll certainly take any questions, but that concludes my report.
Members, questions?
May I just ask
Yes,
Jay a
sir.
question? Jay, you said this in the numbers, but can you state to the board again how we entered this fiscal year with a deficit and then where we ended it, looking at the percentages you showed us at the beginning? Would you mind just stating that for clarity's sake?
Sure. For example, on the general fund, we started off with about, dollars wise, about a $9 million budgeted deficit. We were to the good about $4.5 million on revenues, to the good about $4 million or so on expenditures. Again, that 3% that you saw earlier on both sides, that got us to about a break even. And what that does is that extends our runway. Y'all seen that chart before in some of our work sessions, what kind of show our reserve balance and trying to land that plane out of the COVID high, I'll call it. That extends that runway for about another year. So, does that kind of address that, Superintendent? Yeah.
And Jay, when is the last time we actually did not have a budget deficit?
It's been a while. So, this is a welcome sign here to see this actual come into play like this. And the huge driver for next year will be what the legislature does with advancement in technology money. So let me say this. That was $11.7 million. So if the clock strikes 12 on that money, that's a game changer. But we're in a position now, we've got at least a year and a half, if not 2 years, to plan for that. So,
Jay, excellent job by you and your staff.
They do a great job.
To get us to this point, you spoke a little bit about capital projects and how we're either blessed or lucky because we did have those big bonding issues that gave us these nice new buildings. They're not going to stay new for forever. What's the outlook for capital projects, say, 5 years? Because we're not setting aside funds for big capital projects, correct?
That's correct. And so I know what you mean by that. And it's not that we don't want to set money aside. We have $8.6 million in debt payments. So we have to put a lot of resources into paying those debt payments. So, we're also trying to I think we do a good job of keeping up our buildings, but at some point they are going to get age on them. And so, I would say in the 1 to 5 year range, we don't see any major adjustments in capital projects. Now, what we will have to track is where the students are at enrollment. So, are we having a higher demand at one campus that we might need to add on? Are we having a lower demand at another campus that do we look at consolidating 2 schools? So we'll track, enrollment will drive some of that, will be the answer to some of that question, and growth in the city or decline in the city. So we'll have to continue to track that and match that up with the assets that we have as far as campuses.
Thank you, Mr. Duke.
Thank you.
Other questions? Thank you, sir. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, item 7 is introduction of motions, resolutions for a first reading, of which there are none. It brings us to consent agenda. We have consent agenda items 8A and 8B. Board may have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Those will be approved. Item 9, regular agenda items for final adoption. 9A, approve superintendent's recommendations regarding changes in personnel. Dr. Cameron, good evening, sir.
Good evening. I've got the superintendent's recommendations regarding changes in personnel. I also have a supplemental list. I'll go through both lists with you all. Starting on page 1, you have 3 resignations, 1 reassignment, 4 part-time extended day tutors, 1 termination of a probationary certified employee pursuant to the Students First Act, 1 25-26 Northwoods High School athletic supplement removal, 1 2025-26 athletic or contracted coach, 3 2025-26 Paul W. Bryant High School athletic supplement removal, 1 25-26 fall semester academic incentive removal, 2 2025-26 fall semester academic incentive, and 1 return from a leave of absence. On the supplemental list, you have 1 resignation, 3 new certified personnel, 1 transfer of classified personnel, 1 transfer of certified personnel, 1 future teachers program director teacher supplement or stipend, and 4 25-26 fall semester mentor supplement changes.
All right, thank you, Dr. Cameron. Board members, are there any set-asides for a separate vote? Last call for set-asides. Okay, hearing none, board may have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendations.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Do we have any questions? By number only, please. Hearing nothing, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Those will be approved. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Item 9B, discuss approve human resources early notifications. Dr. Cameron?
Yes, sir. We have the early notification for those who are planning to retire for our certified classified. This excludes the superintendent. These are employees who wish to retire, and they can give notice by January 9th, 2026. Those eligible will receive a $2,000 payment. Payments will go out July 31st by July 31st, 2026. It's a first come, first served basis with 50,000 total, so that means 25 employees are eligible for this early notification incentive.
Okay, board may have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Questions or discussion for Dr. Cameron? Hearing none, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? That'll be approved. Thank you, sir. Item 9C, discuss approve Northridge High School soccer field change of facilities request. Mr. Smith, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Board. Tonight I'm presenting the request to change one of our practice baseball fields into 2 regulation soccer fields at Northridge. The Booster Club will be paying for the recommended change. It will be done in 2 phases. The recommended time is 2 phases. One is to reshape and measure, add sprinkling system. That phase is an estimated $90,000. And phase 2 will be fencing and adding equipment and things of that nature that supports soccer. The current funds that they've raised so far is about $50,000. Estimated start time will be spring and summer of 2026, and all work will be subject to Alabama bid law.
All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. Board may have a motion to approve.
Second.
And Mr. Smith, no system funds are being used for this project, correct?
That is correct.
So, and they're still raising funds to have this done?
That is correct.
Any other questions?
And this will still leave everything else adequate, you know, the other sport teams will still be able to have access to the prep areas and all that, just the same.
That is correct. Actually, it's going to help enhance things because they have so many programs.
Yeah, it's actually gonna help both football and soccer, because I
Correct.
understand that they
Correct. Take the
share
pressure
the
off
practice
football.
field, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? That'll be approved. 9D, discuss approved Woodland Forest roofing bid. Mr. Smith?
Okay, happy to present the re-roofing bid for Woodland Forest. Bids were open on November 4th at 2 p.m. The lowest responsible bidder was Advanced Roofing Solutions with a bid of $909,000. This is $210,000 below our construction budget. Pending approval, estimated start date would be July 15th, and completion date would be April 10th. And the scope is as presented.
All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. Board may have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Questions, discussion? Any concern that the bid is, I won't say significantly lower, but somewhat lower than the average?
Are they local?
No, I think this is pretty good. Actually, the company is the company we worked with before,
Okay,
out of Northport Bond Construction.
so we're aware of the
Yes, yes,
of their workmanship.
that is correct.
Okay. questions?
Only question, you said July.
They like to do it when it's hot.
I know it sounds miserable, but it takes until April, you said?
That was my only, you said July, and I see
I said
estimated start
January
time
15th,
is
I'm sorry,
January.
April 10th. I'm sorry. Did I say July?
January
said-
start time, not July.
You said, okay, that's
Oh,
all, I was
I'm
trying to
sorry.
see, it took from July to April, so it's
This
January.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
Any other questions? Call for a vote, all in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Be approved, thank you, sir. Item 9E, discuss approved TCS facilities rental rates. Mr. Smith?
Tonight, we're presenting the recommended changes to our rental rates and some of the process that we have in our rental program for facility use. These recommended changes as presented will help support and increase energy and employee costs. It will process and enhance our program and process for administrative efficiency and improve our authorization process. This will help us be better customer service and make better decisions for our district.
All right, the board may have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, discussion? Mr. Smith, I think this is a great change. You know, I think in the past, somebody could have rented it for just 2 hours, which causes a huge inefficiency in the operation versus what we get. So, job well done on this change.
Definitely a group effort, our team. Dr. Darren.
Board may have, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? That'll be approved. We have no unfinished business to attend to. Announcement, board, there is a evaluation summary report for the CSFO, goals for this year. If you can fill them out, and get them to me by Robin left.
She wants tonight.
Oh, she wants them tonight? Okay, stay and get these done tonight. They're in the front part of that gray folder. If you can't do it tonight, email it to me first thing in the
Oh,
morning.
no, I was saying it.
Okay? Next board meeting will be December the 2nd. Wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels.
A lot of events on Thursday.
Yes, Thursday we have,
The Oakdale,
the
8:30.
TCS report card. Does any other board member have any other announcements to make? Hearing none, we'll stand adjourned.
Thank you, board.